Canal #1 murder suspect in police custody. United States makes additional donation to COVID-19 fight in Guyana. Canadian mining company acquires Aurora Gold Mine. Workers unimpressed. In the region, Cuba to help South Africa. And internationally, New Zealand takes first steps after end of virus lockdown. Greetings, and welcome to another edition of Channel 2 Headline News Update. I'm George Gonzalez. Thank you for joining us. The CARICOM high-level team will arrive in Guyana on April 30th to oversee the recount of the ballots for the votes cast in last month's elections. According to a statement from the National COVID-19 Task Force, the body met on Monday, and among the decisions taken was the approval of the request from CARICOM for a chartered flight to Guyana. Before the team arrives in Guyana, they will be tested for COVID-19 in their respective countries. The recount process is expected to last 25 days as GCOM continues to maintain that the CARICOM team's arrival is to validate the recount and not to supervise it. The suspect in the murder of a female vendor in Canal #1 is currently in police custody. Here's Esther Sobers with that story.
The man suspected to have murdered 62-year-old vendor Tameshwari Sunilal is currently in police custody. Investigators suspect the motive for the crime was rape. However, they are still unsure as to what exactly happened in the moments leading up to the murder. On the night in question, neighbors reported hearing Sunilal scream before finding her in emotionless state next to her bed. The suspect, a male in his mid-20s, was allegedly seen over her body with the murder weapon in hand. Nevertheless, he managed to escape. Neighbors claim to have seen the man before, as he occasionally visits a nearby relative, but this was reportedly the first time he was seen in Sunilal's yard. The suspect, who goes by the name of Geeper, was arrested at 900 hours Monday on the Dikindran Public Road, West Coast, Demerara. Sunilal's body remains at the Ezekiel Funeral Home awaiting a post-mortem. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. A laborer who attempted to take his own life after allegedly killing his common-law wife faced the Fort Wellington Magistrates Court charged with murder. Jamal Angus of No. 30 Village, West Coast, Berbice, was accused of stabbing to death 21-year-old Vanessa Benjamin of Ithaca Village, West Bank, Berbice on April 16, 2020. For the crime, Angus was remanded to prison. He is slated to appear in court again on June 10, 2020. Stick around. Coming up after the break, United States makes additional donation to COVID-19 fight in Guyana, and Canadian mining company acquires Aurora Gold Mine while the workers are unimpressed.
Hurry down to Zasco on 15 North Road between Camp and Wellington Streets. Quality products at low cost for every room in your home. 65 and 55 inches high-end 4K smart TVs. Samsung French door fridges. Black & Decker appliances, queen and king size Canadian-made mattresses. German-made pressure pots in 5 to 9 liters. 12-piece pot sets, knife sets, cutlery sets and pans, commercial fans. Samsung smart stoves. Canadian-made 3-piece recliner sofa sets. Air fryers and Hamilton Beach hot and cold water dispenser.
For that reliable, prudent and courteous traveling experience, your choice is G3 Cabs, located at 228-229 Aubrey Barker Road and Beverly Close, South Reinfeld Gardens. Travel in comfort and safety with our deluxe fleet of new vehicles and neatly trimmed drivers serving our customers around Georgetown. We deliver cooking gas, mortgages, run errands, and provide minor vehicular roadside assistance such as jump starts of vehicles, flat tires, spare wheel assistance, and more. Contact us on 218-4982 or 218-4500. G3 Cabs, You can count on us.
Oh gosh, what is this? Me son can't read or spell. Stop! 0 out of 20. Is what I could do here.
Hi guys, my name is Ms. Purja Singh and I'm the senior teacher at the Literature After School program. Due to the spread of the coronavirus and the need for social distancing, we have moved our in-class learning activities to online via Skype. On the online side, we will be focusing on spelling, phonics, reading, and the National Grade 6 assessments. For more information, you can inbox us or call us.
Contact us on 675-4379.
I can call them now.
Hidden Treasures, discovering gems in young minds.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
Welcome back. On Monday, an organization called Save Democracy in Guyana formally submitted to the U.S. Embassy in Georgetown a petition of over 6,500 names calling for the United States to impose a range of individual sanctions against persons accused of electoral improprieties during the March 2nd general and regional elections. The petition was submitted by former United States Embassy Consular Officer in Trinidad and Tobago, Randy Depu. According to Depu, the petition identifies President David Granger, Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu, Joseph Harmon, Basil Williams, Valdo Lawrence, Amna Ali, and Kemraj Ramjatan, among other elected officials. Depu also identified Deputy Chief Elections Officer Roxanne Myers, Region 4 Returning Officer Claremont Mingo, and GCOM Chairperson Retired Justice Claudette Singh. The personal sanctions being called for, Depu said, involve the cancellation of visas for those persons identified, the revocation of a right to enter the U.S., and the freezing of all bank accounts and property held by those persons in the United States. The United States has donated additional money to assist Guyana and the Caribbean in their fight against COVID-19. Here's Bibi Backus with that story.
The United States government has committed an additional $1.7 million to mitigate the spread of the COVID-19 outbreak in Guyana and the rest of the Caribbean. The United States, via U.S. aid, is providing life-saving support by coordinating with the government of Guyana, international humanitarian partners, and other stakeholders to identify priority areas for investment. This donation is in addition to the U.S. $475,000 the U.S. government released to Guyana last Thursday. The money is expected to address Guyana's priority areas of laboratory diagnostics and system strengthening and supplies, surveillance, infection prevention and control, and emergency operations centers. Speaking on the donation, U.S. Ambassador to Guyana, Sarah Lynch, said, the United States government is committed to assisting the people of Guyana to combat the spread of COVID-19, to prevent illness and death associated with the dreaded pandemic, and ultimately provide the quality of life and economic outcomes of this wonderful country and its people. Both donations were given through the U.S. Caribbean Resiliency Partnership. However, it should be noted that Guyana's share of the latest donation has yet to be announced. For Headline News Update, Bibi Backus.
Thanks, Esther. One of Guyana's largest gold mines has been acquired by China-focused Canadian mining company Silvercorp Metals. While the Ministry of Natural Resources looks forward to working with a company that has the capacity to continue the operations, not all parties involved in the deal were satisfied with how it developed. On Monday, it was announced that Canadian mining company Silvercorp Metals acquired Aurora Gold Mine in Region 7 Cuyuna, Mazaruni. The mine is one of the assets the company has acquired after its purchase of GUYANA Goldfields Inc. The deal will include a $74.8 million payment and a loan for $15 million for ongoing operations at the Aurora underground mining project in Guyana, as well as certain working capital and general corporate purposes. Based in Toronto, Canada, Silvercorp Metals Inc. produces silver, lead, and zinc metals and concentrates from mines in China, where it also does underground mining. The Ministry of Natural Resources has welcomed the announcement. In a statement, the ministry said that prior to approval being granted, it will carry out the necessary due diligence to ensure the company complies with all of its legal obligations, especially honoring workers' rights. It added that it will, quote, ensure that there is legal compliance with the proposed transfer of interest and that matters pertaining to workers' rights, especially, and other important obligations are satisfactorily addressed, end quote. However, the news was not received well by all. President of the National Mining Workers Union, Sherwin Downer, claimed that at no point did the management of the mine consult the workers during the year-long negotiations between the two companies. In a statement, Downer said, quote, "It is regrettable that the management of AGM Inc. would have sought it unnecessary for the union, National Mining Workers Union, to be informed and involved in the said process. The National Mining Workers Union wishes to register its disappointment at the conduct of the management at this time and hope that there can be an amicable resolution between management and union," end quote. Nevertheless, the company plans to roll out aggressive drilling programs, fast-track trucking distance to mill, and uncertainty when it comes to funding the Aurora Gold Mine operation. It is estimated that the underground mining project will produce around 147,000 ounces of gold annually over a 14-year period. Aurora has been in operation since 2015. Don't go away. After the break, Cuba to help South Africa, and New Zealand takes first steps after end of virus lockdown.
Hurry down to Zasco on 15 North Road between Camp and Wellington Streets. Quality products at low cost for every room in your home. 65 and 55 inches Hisense 4K smart TVs. Samsung French door fridges. Black & Decker appliances, queen and king size Canadian-made mattresses. German-made pressure pots in 5 to 9 liters. 12-piece pot sets, knife sets, cutlery sets and pans, commercial fans. Samsung smart stoves. Canadian-made 3-piece recliner sofa sets. Air fryers and Hamilton Beach hot and cold water dispenser.
For that reliable, prudent, and courteous traveling experience, your choice is G3 Cabs, located at 228-229 Aubrey Barker Road and Beverly Close, South Renfrew Gardens. Travel in comfort and safety with our deluxe fleet of new vehicles and neatly trimmed drivers serving our customers around Georgetown. We deliver cooking gas, small packages, run errands, and provide minor vehicular roadside assistance such as jump starts of vehicles, flat tires, spare wheel assistance, and more. Contact us on 218-4982 or 218-4500. G3 Cabs. You can count on us.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you have a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
Oh gosh, what's this? Me son can't read or spell. Stop! 0 out of 20. Is what I gonna do here?
Hi guys, my name is Ms. Singh and I'm the senior teacher at the Agriculture After School program. Due to the spread of the coronavirus and the need for social distancing, we have moved our in-class learning activities to online via Skype. On the online site, we will be focusing on spelling, phonics, reading, and the National Grade 6 assessments. For more information, you can inbox us or call us.
Contact us on 675-4379.
I can call them now.
Hidden treasures, discovering gems in young minds.
We also do sanitization of buildings, structural buildings, ministries, schools, indoor and outdoor. Our main recommended sanitation chemical that we use is 70 to 90% alcohol base. The personnel will gear first. They have to sanitize themselves and then they have to put on the gears. We have a long range of chemicals that we use to do sanitizing with. And those what we use with is 70% alcohol base. Formalin, which is 8% concentrate formalin, you will use that roughly between 1 to 5% of that to 5 gallon water to do spraying or wiping out. But most likely to do spraying. When we are spraying any building, it has to be evacuated. Everybody must be out of the building. Everybody must be out of the building, and we'll go in and then we will sanitize all over, then we'll come back out.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at news in the region and around the world. On Saturday, Cuba sent 216 healthcare workers to South Africa to help the country in its fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. The communist Spanish-speaking Caribbean island has, to date, sent around 1,200 healthcare workers to countries that have been particularly hard hit by the virus. Cuba, which has confirmed 1,337 positive cases of the virus and 51 deaths, has one of the world's highest number of doctors per capita and is renowned for its focus on prevention, community-oriented primary health care, and preparedness to fight epidemics. South Africa has recorded 4,361 cases, including 86 deaths, with 161,004 people tested for the virus as of Saturday. The country has a special relationship with Cuba, which supported the fight against apartheid, a conflict that included Cuban troops who fought and died in southern Angola. According to the Cuban embassy in South Africa, South Africa has sent medical supplies to the island to assist in the fight against coronavirus, and those supplies are currently in the plane that is returning with the Cuban Medical Brigade. United States President Donald Trump took to the podium again to hold a coronavirus briefing after calling them off over the weekend. He has come under fire in recent days for suggesting disinfectants could be injected as a remedy. Even as authorities warned that was not sound advice, reports of people ingesting disinfectant spiked around the United States. Al Jazeera's Alan Fisher reports.
After questioning the point of his daily coronavirus briefings because of critical media coverage, after not holding a briefing over the weekend, after initially cancelling the one on Monday, the president appeared in the Rose Garden to update the country. He revealed plans to help states to ramp up testing to reopen the country.
We're releasing additional guidance on testing to inform the states as they develop their plans for phased and very safe reopening. Our blueprint describes how states should unlock their full capacity, expand the number of testing platforms, establish monitoring systems to detect local outbreaks, and conduct contact tracing.
A number of states have announced plans to reopen, although no one is expecting a return to what was once normal.
We're taking steps to understand it's going to be a new world, but we have to be realistic that we can't wait 18 months to have a vaccine and just tread water. People want to see forward progress.
In Georgia and other states, some restaurants are reopening. Some movie theatres are also back in business, but all under serious restrictions.
Clearing our tables so everything is sanitized after every single customer interaction, and then also making sure that we've got paper menus that are disposable versus our placemat plastic ones that we've used historically.
Some places like Washington, D.C. have renewed lockdown orders, at least until the middle of next month, and people seem to be complying. Across the country, there are also reports of people ingesting disinfectant after the president asked last week if it was possible that could kill the virus. His comments led to widespread condemnation and his decision to halt the briefings over the weekend. Asked about it on Monday, he brushed off the question.
Maryland and other states, Governor Larry Hogan specifically said they've seen a spike in people using disinfectant after your comments last week. I know you said they were sarcastic.
I can't imagine why. I can't imagine why. Yeah.
Take any responsibility?
No, I don't. No, I can't imagine. I can't imagine that.
The president now believes the US is on course to see around 70,000 deaths from the virus, a figure up by 10,000 on his previous prediction. Alan Fisher, Al Jazeera, Washington.
New Zealand is relaxing some of its strict lockdown measures introduced 4 weeks ago. The nation has reported nearly 1,500 confirmed cases of COVID-19, inclusive of 19 deaths. Al Jazeera's Wayne Hay reports.
After 5 weeks at the highest coronavirus alert level, New Zealanders worked to a partial easing of lockdown rules. Until now, all non-essential businesses were ordered to close. Now, some regulations have been relaxed, allowing other businesses to open, like restaurants and cafes, for pickup or delivery only.
I've been hanging out for this.
It was welcome relief for those wanting their caffeine fix from a professional.
The whole community's come out and supported us, which is fantastic. A few hiccups with the website this morning, but everyone's been very relaxed. So we've gotten through, so it's good. Good to be open again.
There were also plenty of people wanting a break from the kitchen as long lines formed outside fast food outlets. Only a handful of new coronavirus cases are being reported in New Zealand each day, so the government believes the time is right to begin relaxing the rules. But the message remains, for most people, stay at home.
There is no widespread undetected community transmission in New Zealand. We have won that battle, but we must remain vigilant if we're to keep it that way. That includes safely returning more New Zealanders to work, enabling more businesses to reopen, and allowing some of the recreational activities we've missed in the past 4 weeks.
Now it's a balancing act for New Zealand and countries in a similar position, trying to avoid a resurgence of the virus while getting the economy moving again. Key to that is restarting stalled infrastructure projects. And as the alert level was lowered, construction workers were able to pick up their tools again. Under Alert Level 3, the government expects around 400,000 people to return to work, which will of course provide a big boost to the economy after 5 weeks of inactivity. But there is a sense that even though New Zealand has managed to control the virus so far, economically, the worst may be still to come. Thousands of jobs are linked to tourism, and right now the border is closed. The government's own modelling says the worst-case scenario could see up to 26% unemployment. Restrictions may be easing, but this country, like so much of the world, is a long way from being close to returning to normal. Wayne Hay, Al Jazeera, Auckland.
That's all for today's regional and international news. Here is your 3-day weather forecast. That's all for this edition of Headline News Update. Tune in Wednesday at 7 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Also, visit our website at headlinenewsguyana.com for all the news we couldn't fit in this newscast. Until then, take care.